Have you ever wondered what would happen if you eat only fruit for an entire week? Well, I decided to try it. I tracked everything, and let me tell you, the results were really shocking and it's totally unexpected. So you have to see what happened. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, hi, my name is Leah and I like to share vegan recipes, ideas, inspirations, and I also like to talk about vegan and health topics. So if this is something that you're interested in, then please consider subscribing. I would really like to have you here. So I've been experimenting with plant-based diet for a while now. I started out as a vegetarian and then I went vegan, who occasionally ate some junky vegan meat-like products like Beyond Meat or some stuff like TVP, which is a textured vegetable protein. And I also used to love going out to restaurants and I used to order all kinds of fried vegan junky food. Foods like spring rolls or some other oily things. Then I slowly started shifting to a whole food plant-based diet, but there were still some occasions, some rare occasions, where I would indulge into some processed vegan junky foods. Then I decided to experiment more and I decided to eat high raw vegan diet, and then after that I decided to move on to raw vegan diet. That's like a natural progression, right? But now, this week, I decided to do something completely new, something completely different that I've never ever tried before. I decided to eat only fruit for an entire week. And of course, I tracked it all and the results are, well, way beyond what I expected. Okay, let's talk about day number 1. I started it on a Monday, of course, and it was actually a really bad day to start because I had all kinds of problems during that day. Today is the first day that I'm actually trying to eat all, not just raw, but only fruits. I'm eating all kinds of fruits all day today, and yeah, so far I feel a little bit kind of sleepy a little bit, but then again, I don't know if it was a stressful day I had and I barely slept, so I'm not sure if it's related to that, but let's see how I'm gonna feel tomorrow. And yeah, I'm gonna take you guys along with me and I'll share my story and see what happens. Oh, and I forgot to tell you that what I ate today was, in the morning I had a few oranges. I don't remember which kind, but they were not super big, not super small, like a few medium oranges. After that, I had an ice cream. Oh, it was more like a smoothie bowl, I guess, because I added a few fresh bananas in there. I had some blueberries and strawberries. After that, I had a whole bag of grapes. They kind of look like cotton candy grape, but I'm not sure if they were cotton candy, but they tasted pretty good. They were crunchy, crispy, they were very sweet, obviously juicy, and that's all I ate for today. But I'm thinking when I'm gonna get home, I want something savory. There are savory fruits, cucumber, zucchini, tomato, those are all savory fruits, guys, so we can have that. Even jalapeno, all those peppers, they are all fruits, so we can make a nice salad. And for dressing, I'm just gonna use avocado, and let's see what happens. So it was a pretty difficult day for me because here's what happened. Let me just tell you a quick short story of it. I usually drop my kids at school in the morning. So after I dropped my last kid off, and I have 3 of them, I was driving home and someone actually hit me. A car kind of like T-boned into me. I was driving and the car just came out of nowhere and just rammed into my door. So luckily I was okay, but my door, well, it has to be replaced. So as you can understand, I was a little bit shaken that day, but I still had to go do my shopping, so I decided to go to Asian store. I went there, I got all kinds of fruit because I'm starting up fruit week and I need my food. So I bought a whole bunch of things, and when I went to pay, I'm at the cashier, I'm standing there, and I'm looking at my wallet and I can't find my credit card, so my credit card was lost. So I was like, okay, this day is really starting out pretty badly. So I was really disappointed. So thankfully I was still able to pay for the food, and I went home and I decided to, okay, all right, it was just a rough morning. I'm gonna go ahead and have a good rest of the day. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare myself some yummy ice cream for breakfast, and I'm gonna sprinkle all these delicious blueberries on top. So I prepared that. I started eating, and those blueberries, they tasted like I'm eating sand. I've never tasted a worse blueberry than this. They were just like no taste at all, just grainy texture. So I don't know what the hell was wrong with all these blueberries. So I just got rid of them, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what's gonna happen today, because so far nothing is working out. So I had to pick all these blueberries out of my ice cream, and I just ate the whatever frozen bananas by themselves. So that was the beginning of my day. So I don't know what happened to me. So yeah, I still don't know what happened to my credit card. I usually don't lose things, but I guess we all have these kind of days that are just like everything goes not the way we planned. Everything is fine with the credit card. There were no charges or anything. Everything is good. Let's move on. However, in all these horrible things that were happening during that day, there was one good thing that happened. The guy who hit me, he wasn't hit and run. He actually apologized. He said, I'm sorry, like a million times. And he said, well, we exchanged insurance and all that information, of course. He said he would prefer for me not to contact insurance for obvious reasons. And I said, okay, I'm gonna send you estimates. And he said he'll pay for this damage. So I was like, okay, well, let's try and see what happened. At least he wasn't hit and run. He was actually apologetic. He seemed like he would be able to pay. Of course, I didn't trust him completely. I wasn't sure if he's actually gonna go ahead and pay for the damage, because I don't know, this guy, I don't know what's gonna happen. But anyway, I had his insurance and I had his other information, so I was hoping if he's not gonna pay, then at least I'll contact his insurance. So that was my Monday. If I was still eating cooked food, I would probably go home and I would just make a huge stack of pancakes. I would just sit down and eat it and just burn my sorrow into the food. But on this day, I was eating all fruit and I was dedicated and I wanted to see what happens. I still decided to stick to my plan, and that's what I did. I continued and I ate fruit, and I ate all kinds of fruit. I had apples, grapes, bananas, tomatoes, cucumbers. I had whatever I bought, it was okay. It was just the blueberries that were really bad. I was even able to find some persimmons. Yes, right now it's the end of March and I was still able to find some persimmons. I was so happy. I ate them. Everything was fine. They tasted good. I feel good. So during the day, I was feeling perfectly normal, no problems at all, because I've been eating raw for the past few weeks already. And before that, I was eating high raw. It was like high raw, raw, high raw. So I was like in between the stages. So in the evening, I started feeling slightly feverish, and I don't know if that was a detox symptom. Hi guys, so today is day 2 and I'm eating only fruit for now. Yesterday I felt a little bit under the weather, like last night for example I had a little bit of fever going on, so I felt a bit crappy. Yeah, so I'm not sure if it's some sort of detox effect, because they say that fruit is the most cleansing food we can have. It could be that, or it could be that there is something else going around, because I hear a lot of people coughing around me. So I'm not sure what's happening, but I'm not coughing or anything. I just had a very, very, very slight fever. And this morning I woke up and I had to take care of my kids. So got them breakfast, lunches already, and I drove them to school. And then I came home and I just crashed. Just crashed for 2 hours and I just slept. I couldn't do anything. I felt a little bit weak, a little bit tired. So then I got up. I forced myself, I pushed myself out, and I just chopped up the fruit. I had some cantaloupe and some pineapple. I had a big bowl of that, so I had that, and then I was able to take a shower, and I'm moving on with my day. So yeah, this is my day 2, and so far this is how we are. And then at night, I didn't want to eat anything sweet. I had enough sweet fruits during the day already, so I wanted to have something savory. So what I had was this quick salad that I made. I used these cucumbers, tomatoes, jalapeno, avocado, lime. It was a quick salad, but it was actually very satiating. It tasted delicious and I felt good eating it. A little bit later, I decided to have a tiny dessert. So for dessert, I had some dried prunes. That was it for the day. It was very satisfying. I felt very, very light. My digestion was smooth. I had this clean energy surge, like no sluggishness. just like pure fuel. And honestly, I felt like I was back in my 20s. It's like I went back in time a little bit. Today is day number 3 of me eating only fruit. Yes, so far so good. So today I actually woke up. I didn't have any more fever. I didn't have any more problem. And I actually felt a lot of energy in the morning. I had a bunch of oranges this morning. They were super sweet and juicy. And yeah, so that was pretty good. So far so good. Third day eating only fruit. So day 3 was so much better than previous 2 days in terms of my health and all the luck I was getting on that day. Remember that car accident I told you about? Well, I went to 2 body shops to find out how much it would cost me to fix this door, and both of these body shops, they told me that I have to completely replace this door. This door is junk, all the mechanisms and everything inside of it is completely gone. So yeah, I need a new door, and that door would cost me $2,000. Both of the mechanics, they said the same thing. And I was like, oh my goodness, 2,000. I didn't even expect this much money. And I'm like, I don't even know if this guy's gonna be able to pay this money. I thought it was gonna be like, I don't know, $700 or $800. So what happened was I sent this estimate to this guy and I said, okay, listen, I went to 2 body shops and these are the prices. So he was, of course, a little bit shocked too. He didn't expect this amount. He said, okay, go ahead and you can work on your car, you can replace it, and once they finished working on it, you call me and and I will pay for you. And I'm like, listen, it doesn't work like this. I kind of need the money up front, and I understand it's a big amount of money, and if you're not able to pay it, then I would have to go through the insurance. He said, oh no, let's not go through the insurance. Let's just go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and pay you the full amount. So he actually did. I was surprised. I'm like, wow, there are actually some decent people in this world, because if you know New York, there are so many hit and run accidents and nobody stops. People just crash your car and they just leave from the crime scene. Nobody does this. And this was like a decent person. I'm like, as you can see, my luck started going up a little bit. I needed gas for my car, so I had to go and get gas, and I decided to test this new app. It's called Earnify. Basically, you're supposed to save like 10 or maybe 15 cents per gallon, but at the beginning, once you sign up, they give you some rewards and things like this. So basically, I was able to save like 50 cents per gallon on my car when I put the gas in. So anyway, that was another luck that happened. So this is where my luck began on that day. And then throughout the day, I just kept on getting this tiny little surprises here and there, which was so nice for a change compared to that Monday that really shook me out of myself. So I am so grateful for all this luck. As far as the health goes, I've noticed that my skin started to look much brighter. I had dryness on my skin, and my skin started to have less and less of this dryness. So yeah, I used to use this scrub on my face almost every day, but this week I actually didn't really need to do it because my skin just becoming softer and softer, I feel like. So anyway, everything was going really well. I felt light, I was energized. However, in the evening on the 3rd day, I got a headache. It wasn't like excruciating headache, but it was still kind of annoying because I usually do not get headaches, like almost never, like very rare occasions. So I really think that my body was simply just adjusting and releasing all those whatever toxins or whatever was inside me, and it was just adjusting to this new way of eating. So what I did, I drank plenty of water and I just tried resting. It's so interesting how I was reacting to this fruit-only diet, because I've been eating fully raw in the past few weeks already and I never experienced headaches until now. So there was definitely something going on in my body. Anyway, I decided to go and sleep earlier that day and I just wanted to rest. Okay, on the next day, day number 4, everything finally clicked and I had no more headaches. Throughout the whole day, I had no more fever and even my brain fog lifted even more and my mind felt razor sharp and it was clearer than it's been in months. So I felt like my emotions kind of stayed and stress, it didn't hit as hard and I felt this deep calm inside. I really didn't see that coming from consuming just fruit. So I did it. 7 days eating only fruits, and I did it, guys. Today is day 8, and today I am back to being a raw vegan. I'm just eating my nuts and eating my seeds and my greens. But you know what? Fruit is always gonna be a huge part of my life. Yeah, so I started my day as usually with a huge bowl of juicy fruit, and this morning was a lot of oranges, this huge 5 oranges. I ate them, and then after that, in about an hour, I was hungry again, so I ate a huge smoothie of bananas and dates, and yeah, that kept me going, and the results are very positive, so that's good. So on the last few days, I experienced this really easy digestion. My skin was getting better and better. It was feeling less and less rough. Like I told you, it's becoming softer and softer. The more fruit I eat, the softer my skin feels. I don't know if it's related. Maybe it's some placebo effect, but you know what? I'll take it. Also, what I noticed is that I actually dropped 5 pounds, and like I said, I felt so much lighter. My stomach became so flat. Even though I was not starving, I was eating at least 2,000 calories every day, and I was still able to like lose this extra waste, I guess. The only problem that I really noticed is that I felt a little bit too high, only like in a good natural way, not the way that when you drink alcohol or drugs or anything like this, but like natural high. At times I felt like I was a bit like almost flying off the ground. In order for me to feel a little bit more grounded, all I did was ate some avocados and some like dried fruit like dates or prunes or dried figs and stuff like that, and it kind of helped me to balance whatever is happening in there, because otherwise I felt like really high. This is like fruit high. But you know, overall, I really did enjoy all this simplicity of eating just fruit. It's just so simple. There is no thinking what you're going to have for breakfast or for lunch. It's fruit. Okay. For lunch, I used to have like huge bowls of grapes. Or for breakfast, I had like a huge bowl of oranges or cantaloupe. Or for lunch, I used to also have some apples, like just a whole bunch of apples. I just cut up and grab and go, and lunch is ready. So the only thing is the dinner had to be for me not sweet. I had to have this savory dinner. Of course, you can have plenty of cucumbers, zucchini, tomato, avocado, coconut or jalapeno, all kinds of bell peppers. All of those are fruit, and they are savory fruit. You can make some sort of salad, or you can even make zucchini noodles with like tomato sauce. You just use tomatoes, dates, and sun-dried tomatoes. So you just blend it up together, and it's a good sauce, and it's very simple, and it's all made out of fruit. And even though I do love all this simplicity, however, my mind was still not ready. It was not ready because it was still racing at times to just trying to figure out all these new calorie sources. I had to deal with this new lifestyle and just figure out my familiar dishes to kind of calm myself down. So this week was definitely a game changer for sure, but am I ready to go fully fruitarian long term? No, not yet. I'm still not ready yet. I still enjoy my greens and herbs and nuts and seeds and some other vegetables. However, having said that, I'm still going to incorporate plenty of days where I only eat fruit. Who knows, maybe one day I will be a long-term fruitarian. I'm not sure yet. But for now, I'm only gonna stick to eating just a raw vegan diet. I'm still going to incorporate, like I said, plenty of fruits, because I know how I feel when I eat fruits. If I eat a big bowl of fruit compared to a big bowl of pancakes, I know how I'm gonna feel. If I eat fruit, I feel light, I feel like I have energy, and it can last for hours. It doesn't just like go away right away. Within an hour, I have a crash or something. No, it's like a steady energy, and I feel good and I feel fine compared to a stack of pancakes, which I used to love. But if I eat them, I know they're gonna sit like a big rock in my stomach, and then it's gonna be really difficult to digest, and I just don't want to deal with this for now. I feel like fruit definitely works for me. So anyway, as I said, I am going to stick to raw vegan for now, because I do like my nuts and seeds. I do like all these dressings that I can make and all the greens. I'm gonna miss the variety and sometimes even complexity of the dishes, because I do prefer simple dishes most of the time, as they are easier for digestion, but there are certain occasions when I like to prepare something interesting and unique, and it might require more than 5 ingredients. I'm enjoying making these dishes and all these recipes. They are fully raw vegan, full of fresh and healthy ingredients, so I don't see why I can't enjoy them, at least at the moment. So the things I really enjoy when eating fully fruit is the hydration. The hydration is unbelievable. I did drink plenty of water too, but I felt like I didn't need as much water. So yeah, I would definitely, like I said, incorporate more fruit only days, but I wouldn't call myself a fruitarian, at least not just yet. I do love the hydration, the mental clarity, and easy digestion, and all this energy that was really unreal. These are all amazing benefits that I really didn't see coming, even though I've been eating fully raw for the past however number of weeks already. Okay, so now you guys tell me in the comments below, are you curious about eating only fruits? What do you think about this? Would you try it for a few days? So if you do try it, you might be surprised how good it feels. Although I know some people report that they are feeling more fatigue in the first few weeks, but I guess it all depends from where you come in. If you come in from eating carnivore or something, eating omnivore, if you're eating all those other diets, then yeah, it's gonna be a huge adjustment and you might go through heavier symptoms of detoxing. But since I've been vegan for more than 10 years already, and before that, for the past 2 years, I've been playing on and off with raw vegan already, and past few weeks I've been sticking to fully 100% raw. For me, I guess my detox symptoms are not that big of a deal, but for some people, I guess when you just transitioning, maybe you gotta take it easy. If you go fully to fruitarianism, you might be, I don't know, your system might be in shock actually, and yeah, you might have to take it easy. I also wanted to talk about something that I know about the pushback, okay? So people always concerned and they fear about malnutrition. For example, everybody always says that we need protein. We need protein. And of course we need it, but we can get it. Did you know we can get it from fruits? There is actually, fruit even has certain amount of fat. It has certain amount of protein. It has all these carbohydrates. It has all these vitamins, minerals, all these nutrients. It has everything basically we need. We don't need as much protein as we've been prescribed to, you know? Like, I understand fruit doesn't have large, huge amounts of protein. It has small amount, but it has it. Every fruit has a certain amount of amino acids that our body actually needs. So we can get it from fruit if we eat enough fruit. I'm not saying eat one apple and you'll be good. If you're planning to have lunch full of apples, just have like 5-6 apples and maybe a couple more bananas on the side. I know it sounds like a lot of fruit, but this is what it takes in order to get the proper amount of calories so that you would feel satiated, so you would feel full, and so you would feel okay, not hungry anymore. So I'm definitely convinced that we can certainly thrive on eating just fruit. There is this other thing that's been circulating in the media for a while now, and people like to claim that fruit wasn't always sweet. It wasn't sweet back in the day, like long time ago. It was all like, I don't know, savory. It wasn't as sweet. Maybe it was a little bit sweet, but not as much as these days. But that's not true. That's complete nonsense, because I grew up in Siberia and I was eating, even though we didn't have a lot of fruit, but we did have wild berries and we did have some other wild fruit not touched by people. And it was plenty sweet. It was super sweet. And it was totally wild and it was totally sweet. So this is nonsense. Whoever is spreading these lies, these are just lies, because it's not true. But I do understand that right now, the quality of fruit that we can get in supermarkets, it's not the best. But you know what? It's still better to eat that fruit than the standard American diet. Okay, fruit is still so much better for us to eat, and it's better to eat it than to avoid it, even though it's not the best quality. So I don't know about this whole sweetness myth. I'm not sure who came up with this, but think about it. Why would nature give us all this perfect fruit, delicious fruit that we enjoy? Why would it not be good for us? Why would it make us sick? We are the ones who actually messed up, okay, not the nature. Processing food till our bodies just rejecting it, and all these rejections, they just show up as all these diseases, unfortunately. And all these big food corporations, they just care about profit. They don't care about health. And unfortunately, doctors, mostly they push pills because no one is teaching us, no one is teaching doctors how to really eat right anymore. From what I've heard, doctors only get a small number of hours of nutrition training during their medical school. That's it, only like a day, if anything at all. And so yeah, unfortunately, we've lost it. We stuck on these horrible rigid schedules, like, okay, 8 a.m. I have to eat breakfast, 6 p.m. I have to eat dinner. So just forget that. Eat when you're hungry and keep it fresh, keep it raw, and keep it plant-based. And animals aren't here for us to cook. They suffer, and then we suffer. And by the way, about that protein excuse, where do you think all these animals, where do you think they get their protein? They get it from plants. So let's just cut the middleman and let's just eat plants and stay healthy. So let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts on this? Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate you here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please click on that subscribe button. It's free and it's easy and it helps my channel to grow. And if you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to click on the like button. I really appreciate it. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.